This is don't miss
Right. Oh, absolutely.
this fight. So March 5th, Roman Chocolatito Gonzalez against the world WBC flyweight world champion Julio Cesar Martinez. It's Nicaragua against Mexico still.
Oh my God. Damn. Welcome back, guys. This is the Zone Boxing Show. I go by the name of Ak.
And I'm Barack the Boxing Bully.
We got a special today. 2 guests, that's right. Head of Matchroom, Eddie Hearn will be on with us today, and newly crowned WBC featherweight champ, Mark Magsayo. So I'm excited to talk to both of those guys. Next is Hearn Unleashed with Mr. Eddie Hearn. And I want to jump right into these rumors. I want to know if you can put them to bed. AJ seems like he put them to bed, but if you could further confirm that he is not going to accept step-aside money, 15 million pounds. I don't know. I just want to know if this is true or not.
Well, I'm going to see him in about 20 minutes. So, it's a badly timed interview, but...
We can wait. Matter of fact, let's
ride
go with you.
Yeah, wait. And speaking of that, why can't we fly with you like Coogan does? I want to start flying with you.
And if you guys were here, you'd be more than welcome. But, I think that AJ, from his point of view, obviously he's always been the boss. He's the guy who makes the decisions and makes the calls. And there's been a lot of speculation this week in newspapers that a deal's done, and I think sometimes that gets his back up a little bit. Like whoa. Like when a deal's done, you'll hear it. You'll hear a deal's done from me. So there's definitely no deal done for him to step aside. There are conversations, and I will have those conversations with him today. In his mind, I've always been quite transparent on this. He wants to rematch Alexander Usyk. And until the time comes where a long-form contract is presented to us that is solid and makes sense. You see, this is much deeper than a step-aside fee. It's not, of course, the money is something you negotiate in that respect, but this is a plan. All he wants to do is win the world heavyweight title back.
Yes.
And right now, he has a cast iron opportunity to do that in a rematch with Alexander Usyk. So any step aside, any other plan has to be solid. It's not, hopefully you guys get the winner and then, Fury fights Usyk and then Fury decides to be inactive for 2 years. Like, it's not, AJ made it quite clear, again, these conversations come from me to him. He's not out there looking for another fight, looking for another plan, looking for a step aside. It's my job to go to him and say, I'm trying to let you know, this is the discussions I've had. This is the approach we've had. This is where it could make sense. This is where it doesn't make sense. And he will, as always, be the one that calls the shots. He's made it quite clear at the moment what that shot looks like.
All right, so we heard this from Gareth Davies from The Telegraph. How do you think untrue rumors like this start?
I think that people just have conversations and he said, she said, and there is, I'm not saying there's no truth in some of the article in terms of the process and what happens and step aside and stuff like that. The fee's wrong. Lots of other stuff is wrong as well. But sometimes these journalists, and look, I like Gareth, but sometimes you have to take a punt as a journalist. You've heard this news. It's either true or it's not. Unfortunately, some of it was true, some of it wasn't. But there's no contract signed. There's a long way to go in terms of crossing off the T's and dotting the I's in terms of the detail.
So are you saying that there was an offer, but it was probably higher than that?
There has been an offer. There has been an offer. There's been several discussions with myself. Wow. I don't rule it out. I can't rule it out. It's not my job. AJ's the boss. He will rule it out or not rule it out. He'll have an intelligent conversation. He's very smart about the plan. He won't want to do it because, a lot of people who know boxing, a lot of people know that, you're going to a new trainer, he's doing this. People say it's a very smart move. And then on the other hand, it's, you're ducking him. You can't win. Do you know what I mean? And Anthony has never ducked anyone. So he won't want to even let one person think that he's ducking that challenge, because that's not what he's about. But sometimes you have to think with your head rather than your
Yeah, in other words, look, the only way he would even consider doing that if there's a guarantee that he's going to get the shot at the titles against Fury should he win.
And for a lot more money than he was going to get in the first place. So, look, there is a smart play here somewhere, but Anthony is not about the money. He's not, you know, if the plan makes sense down from a development point of view, you know, working with a new trainer, maybe having a fight first, going into a much bigger fight. I can see the sense in it. But it's not with Anthony. It's never been a case of, here's some money. Does it tempt you? Because he's not about that. He's a throwback fighter. He's about legacy.
Well, he's made tons of money already.
All he's thinking about at the moment is beating Alexander Usyk.
How close is Kambosos Haney to be announced, if even that?
No, not announced. You know, there's a lot of work going on behind the scenes. I've got a call with Devin later, actually. It's not even an offer, but the kind of deal that we've put in place with Lou DiBella to try and make this fight work. I think that Kambosos wants to fight. I think that Haney wants to fight. I think it's the natural fight. It's not close to being signed. I think there's a deal and a model that's been discussed that can get this fight made.
What about in terms of money? Has there been discussion as
splits? You about money. That's all you guys want to know about. You know, how much?
I'm not asking about numbers. You don't have to tell me numbers. What I'm asking is, has there been numbers thrown at both guys, and are they happy with that number?
Well, from our side, as I said, we've got a model we think works. You know, there's a lot of revenue that goes into this pot. George Kambosos believes this is a massive fight in Australia, which it is. You know, his deal will be worked out with Lou DiBella, and Devin's deal will be worked out with us and Dazn. So we're all working collectively to make this happen. I think there's a model that works financially for everybody, and that's the most important thing. I will say about Devin Haney, the kid's smart. You know, we talk about money. I mean, he's made a lot of money, not AJ money yet, but he understands the importance of this fight for his career. And as I said to him the other day, if you believe you win this fight, don't price yourself out of the fight, because, you know, this is your moment. You win this fight, you're the undisputed lightweight world champion, and you've done it on foreign soil. You become a superstar overnight, and you hold all the belts in the division.
Okay, now I want your opinion, because we're speaking about money. I want your opinion on something that happened in the UFC. Now, Francis Ngannou reportedly made $600,000 as a promoter. Do you think that's fair?
Personally, I don't believe that's the case. I mean, that might have been his bout agreement. You know, there's other money in terms of, you know, commercial endorsements and pay-per-view bonuses and gate bonuses. I'm sure he would have made more. But the truth is, he would make a lot more in a boxing ring. Okay, so.
And what about also as a promoter, you know, Dana White not being there to put that strap, which is very customary, around the champion's waist?
Yeah, I don't know why that was. I'm following this stuff with Ngannou, and as a promoter, it makes me feel quite uncomfortable, because it's a horrible position to be in when publicly a fighter who you work with and who you've paid for a long time is speaking badly about the way you've been treated. It's kind of like it's kind of like my worst nightmare. Thankfully, it's not something that I've really had of any substance over the years.
No, not Kell Brook?
No. I mean, he's never spoke badly about me in terms of how he's been paid, how he's been treated. You know, I mean, we've always had a good relationship in that respect. But I think that with Ngannou, it kind of seems like they're in a tough position now, because, and I don't believe that his contract's up, personally, because I do not believe the UFC would let him go into that fight without some kind of extension. Wow. A one fight extension. I don't know. Well,
I know one person I know you've been near and been promoting for a long time is Katie Taylor. So we want to know, when the hell is she going to fight Amanda Serrano?
Stand by. We're you're not going to get it on this show, boys, but I'd like to think next week we can give you some great news about that. We've been working very hard. It got to a point, it was so plain sailing for a long time. It was too good, you know, in terms of discussions. It just hit a little bit of a rocky patch, which we're almost through that now.
And is that because of Jake Paul's team? I mean, how has it been working with those guys?
It was more a case of, I think, look, you got Jordan Maldonado, right? Who's very outspoken, very passionate. You got Ross Enemet, who's Katie Taylor's trainer as well, obviously very protective of Katie, and everybody wants what they feel is fair for their fighter. Mm-hmm. So sometimes they just clash, and they clashed a little bit. But it's great news for the press conference and so forth, because it got a little bit spicy. We're still but I think we just got some sensible heads on it over the weekend to say, guys, let's not mess this up now. This is the greatest thing that happened to you guys. This is the greatest thing that's ever happened to female boxing. One of the best things that's ever happened in boxing. Don't ruin it now. And everyone got a bit sensible. So fingers crossed, nearly there.
Can we have an announcement for Chocolatito and Estrada? Are they going to postpone? Are we going to get a new replacement or what?
So I got to tell you, sometimes the most unbelievable things happen in boxing. So I'm there. I was in the cinema, right? And the film had finished. And I looked at my phone, and it's Juan Hernandez. Juan Hernandez is Estrada's manager.
Okay.
Eddie, I'm really sorry to say this, but Estrada had COVID a couple of weeks ago. He's been trying to get back to the gym. He's just not going to be ready for March 5th. Mm-hmm. I'm like, one, it's an unbelievable fight. Two, we've sold so many tickets in San Diego already. Three, why does this always happen to me?
You had to add that.
Resolution mode. What are we going to do? Do we postpone the fight? Right? Not really, because we don't actually know when Estrada's going to be ready. Okay. New opponent. Okay. Sean Gibbons messages me about Ancarjas, IBF world champion. It's not Estrada Chocolatito 3, but good fight. Mm-hmm. Robert Diaz messages me about Joshua Franco, WBA world champion. Good fight. I mean, look, Chocolatito's always in good fights. So I'm thinking about those two. And then all of a sudden, I think to myself, what about that crazy son of a gun you've got at flyweight?
I already know.
And I was like, Julio Cesar Martinez, Chocolatito, is just one of the great fights, one of the great moments where a young fighter says, I'll do it. And Chocolatito says, I have no fear. And I thought to myself, there's no way they're both going to take that fight.
Right.
So I reach out to Kemi, Tekken Promotions. Chocolatito's like, oh, let me think about it. I reach out to Eddie Reynoso, of course, Martinez's manager. Oh, I love it. He said, my crazy man will be ready.
Wow.
And I'm like, he said, let me talk to him. The camps talk to each other. And 48 hours on, we have just, I believe, a bloodbath.
That might be a better fight than the original. I'm sorry to say.
I think it'll be more explosive. I mean, listen, you can't knock Chocolatito Estrada free. It's like,
no.
But this is like this is, excuse my language. This is don't miss.
Right. Oh, absolutely.
This fight. So March 5th, Roman Chocolatito Gonzalez against the world WBC flyweight world champion Julio Cesar Martinez. It's Nicaragua against Mexico still.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
Damn. I know where I would be that day. Can't miss that one. Damn, thanks Eddie for that announcement. Appreciate it. All right, fight fans, newly crowned WBC featherweight champion of the world joining us, Mark Magsayo. Welcome.
Hello, sir. Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Listen, first, I'm known to butcher names. I just want to make sure. Did I pronounce your name properly?
Correct, yeah.
All right. Well, listen, first thing I want to say is congratulations on a hell of a fight and being crowned new featherweight champion. There were plenty of talks after the fight about Russell's hurt right shoulder. Do you feel like that's kind of stealing away from your victory because it's not clean, because there's room for an excuse there, whether it's real or not? Is that bothering you?
First, in the first 3 rounds, 1 to 3 rounds, he's still using his hands, and I hurt him in the 4th round. So I grabbed the opportunity to follow through.
I hear you on that. Well, he's saying that he wants a rematch because he felt like he would have won if it wasn't for his shoulder. But then again, he thought he won. Does a rematch make sense to you?
It depends on Sean Gibbons and my promoters, Manny Pacquiao. because I won the fight. I throw a lot of punch. I shot I punch a clear punch. So good.
Now, going into the fight, you know, he was the favorite. He was the guy that's heavily skilled, southpaw stance. Was he better than you thought, or was he exactly what you expected?
In the first 3 rounds, he's good. He's good, fast and strong. And after the fourth round, he's not using the right hand.
How
That's
do
a
you,
little bit advantage of me.
how do you feel about him saying that he won 9 rounds to 3, even with that one hand?
I don't care whatever he say. As long as I won the belt, I won the fight.
Yeah.
That's it.
Now, a former featherweight himself, Shakur Stevenson, put out a tweet and it said, if Gary Russell isn't hurt or he wasn't hurt in the rematch, he'll stop you. The fight wouldn't go to distance. What do you say to that?
He's gonna knock out. If he's not gonna run, he's gonna knock out.
Oh, wow.
If he's not running for this fight, for sure, it's night.
Wow. So what's next? If it's not the rematch with Russell, you know, who do you want to mix it up with next against?
I can fight anyone else now of my division because I am the champ.
But pick a guy. Name a guy for me that you want.
There's Leo Santa Cruz. I want to fight him before, and now I am the champ. Maybe I'm gonna watch his fight in the Vegas. He's coming next weekend.
Are you gonna get in the ring?
Maybe they let me in.
What does it mean to you to have Manny Pacquiao congratulate you like he did?
I'm so very happy that this opportunity given to me. Senator Manny Pacquiao signed me for the past 2020. I'm so happy that he gave me this opportunity to fight a world title fight in the PBC in Showtime. And I'm so very thankful for giving me this winning belt. So my dream come true.
How are you in the featherweight division in terms of making weight? Is it tough? Is it easy? Do you see yourself eventually going up to super featherweight where there are other names out there and possible big fights? How are you in terms of weight?
In the featherweight, I started since 2013 until now, easy weight because I have a good nutritionist. When I came in the weigh-in, easy weight. 125 pounds. I ate that before I weigh
Wow.
in. Yeah, I'm still eating, so I'm good. Maybe 2 to 3 defense or move up.
Do you think when you say 2 to 3 defense, why not unification? Let's say you don't get Leo Santa Cruz. Would you be looking to unify with other champions?
Yeah, I would like to, because I'm open to whatever. So who else in that champ in my division?
Okay.
Well, I would like to see you against any guy in the division, man. You bring a lot of excitement to the
It's good
sport.
to fight different division like Manny Pacquiao, right? But
Yes.
if I'm lucky to get an undisputed, you know.
Wow.
It's
Do you
good.
think that one day people will love you in the Philippines like they love Manny Pacquiao?
Yeah, today they love me. They love me.
Already.
I'm gonna
you
do my
become
best every fight.
All right.
Yeah. And you bring a lot of excitement to the ring, man. See a bright future for you. Congrats again for winning the title, man. And
Yes, sir.
looking
Thank
forward to see you in the ring again. Thanks.
Thank you,
Take
sir.
it easy.
Thank you.
It looks as though a highly anticipated lightweight title fight that fell through could be back on, as the WBA has ordered a mandatory title fight between Gervonta Tank Davis and Rolando Rolly Romero. This fight was, of course, set for December of last year before sexual assault allegations against Romero. It should be noted that Romero was later cleared of all charges earlier this month. The two teams have until February 24th to make a deal, or the bout goes to purse bid. How excited are you for this fight? I think Tank looked great in his last fight. I kind of wanted him to step it up and move past guys like Rolly. What do you think?
Well, yeah, of course I would love to see Tank fight all the big, lightweights in the world and other big names. But just how we were okay with it before his fight, when he first made the fight with Romero, we were giving him a pass on that because of the circumstances, how much Romero talked, just how funny the press conference was, and for Romero, not in a great way. But I'm still kind of excited about that spectacle. To me, it's a spectacle, to be honest with you. I'm not upset with it. Let him get that fight out of the way. It was supposed to happen. We kind of didn't get that fight, so I'm okay with him, even though the Isaac Cruz fight was a hell of a fight. Let Tank get that, other guys are busy. I know Cambosis might make a fight with Devin Haney. Ryan is going to come back. I don't think he's fighting Tank Davis, so let him get a fight out the way. I'm okay with it, Barack.
I'm kind of not. This is Tank, who's been a champion, and he's won that WBA regular belt as well. And he's such a top fighter. Does he have to go back from Isaac Cruz? I feel like that was in the past. Yes, at the time, I was just going to deal with it, deal with Rolly because it was a little backstory. But since that time elapsed and he fought a legitimate contender, Isaac Cruz, I feel like now he could step it up. And why not fight for belts? I don't understand.
All right, Barack, we'll see if them ordering that fight, and it really happens. I'll be looking forward to seeing Tank fight regardless of who it is. And that's our show for today. Hope you guys enjoyed. Catch Ade and Tony tomorrow in the UK, and we'll be back on Thursday. Peace and love. Stay safe.